Sorry, Fabian.
Welcome back in. A couple hours left to go here on a busy afternoon. I was just keeping my eye on Coinbase, reading a note, essentially the U.S. securities regulator winning a court battle with Coinbase. Looks like they're the SEC filing court case against Coinbase is going to be able to go ahead. So Coinbase didn't really move on that. We are headed back to the downside here a little bit. It's down 3% anyways on that. There was more on this morning. CEO Brian Armstrong actually came out and said that he felt like it was going in their favor and thought there was a lot of indications that they might end up getting a ruling that was in favor of the company. But looks like the SEC is going to be able to go ahead with this case against Coinbase. Yeah, this one, IBIO, still absolutely monstrous today, up 183%. Big volume candle there on the downside, however. Back to 320 right now. There was a filing, some debt raised this morning from IBIO, so still moving on that. A little tiny short, or not a little tiny float on that. There's a short percent as well. Pretty green board right across the entire thing right now. Banks actually leading as far as individual groups are concerned. A lot of strength in the banking sector today. Manufacturing stocks also to the upside. Some of the consumer names also having a pretty good day. Amazon upside to the tune of 0.5%. There wasn't much on that AI note, or wasn't much reaction on that AI note with Anthropic out over lunchtime. TJX, Home Depot, PG, Pepsi, Coke, all positive on the day. NVIDIA, Broadcom downside, Apple to the upside, standing out today as relatively strong against an otherwise pretty weak-looking big tech group right now. We are still chopping around here at the bottom end of the range, however. For the NASDAQ overall, let's jump into a little bit of a look back at what we were talking about this morning if you were with us in the pre-market. One of those names to kick things off here was Tesla. There's a couple of different notes this morning on Tesla. Back to the upside currently, but wow, what a flush we got out of the open there, guys, this morning for TSLA.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Bobby? Welcome back. What's up to everybody out there as well? Good midday show. We're glad to be back as well here with some hopefully decent trades. We're short the TQQ again, but yeah, no, we got run over, made a little bit back there on Tesla early. I like the long, you know, but unfortunately, what a move down for Tesla. Beautiful bottom there at 176, made its way back up. We just tried to short in there around 181. That didn't work out, but that was real small. Now, of course, it would have been fine bouncing off the 200. Look, I really like Tesla. We've talked about this name. Up 1.2%, which is nice against a negative market. But here we go. We're short the market again now. So we're, you know, what worked for us yesterday, let's just do it again. I mean, what I'm noticing here is because this is triple levered, we get little moves down, and it's basically perfect for me because we're able to scalp these out, take big shares because it's an ETF. You could literally take tens of thousands of shares if you wanted to. Oh, yeah. We're not at that level yet, but those are some of the things that we're talking about right now with the TQs. So nice downside move, but yeah, what a great move in for Tesla to the downside, and then a complete recovery, man. You had a great trade on Tesla as well, boy. Going long. Yeah. So that was an oh boy right there.
Yeah, a little bit of a move back to the highs there. I'll speak about it. That 76 comes in, and I'm like, all right, well, I didn't really observe all of this. Again, that's a little fault on my part. But when it does get close to that 80, I'm watching it, and I think Sean also was talking about it, like, oh, Tesla's coming back up, and yep. I did pull it up, and I was like, okay, well, 79 broke, we held VWAP, and yeah, recovered all the way to the highs. Funny enough, I got a little greedy. I was like, all right, I got initiated the position going into the 80, right? Holds the 80, great. It's holding the level. There's clearly consistent buying kind of happening through this break here, and maybe it started earlier. Who knows? I wasn't really watching it here, but yeah, there's consistent buying happening over and over again in and around that 180, and then it just goes all the way to 182. I take some out at 180 halves, and then leave the rest at 182s. It goes all the way up to 181. and I think 90s is the high if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, 92, 93, something like that. Yeah, maybe don't sit at the whole dollar when you're not at your desk. I left the stop just above break even, and when it did come back down, it stopped me out, and that's perfectly fine. It is kind of holding that trend back to the upside, so an interesting little V shape happening on Tesla today. That bid is quite strong.
All right, let's go to DJT. I almost said DWAC. DJT on day 2 has been, let's be honest, a little bit boring today. Test higher, test lower, comes back into the middle of the range. That's about it so far for Trump media.
Yeah, there wasn't much to talk about. No new headlines specifically. Just a whole lot of, dissatisfaction in linear television about the valuation of this company, saying, it's not worth anything and that it would be a penny stock if it didn't have Donald Trump's name attached to it, this and the other. It traded decently today, still up on the day, Brendo. Nothing really to add here.
I mean, I think that's the story. It's still pretty impressive as far as the strength is concerned here. Still sitting at 66, guys.
Strength.
DJT.
I mean, I'm still obsessed with this TQQ trade right now. We're in this again. We'll see if we can get an epic fall back in. But DJT, okay. I marked it down in my sticky note, but yeah, it's just kind of like a day 2 play. We didn't look at DWAC too much. We had this, I mean, we talked about this epic fall there. I would say, if anything, I'm still in Alibaba here. I'm just, I want to make sure that I have some bids out for TQQ because we're going to the downside right now pretty nicely. Yeah, so I always think we always want to use VWAP, and that's kind of what we look out for right here. So it was following VWAP until it finally broke it all the way to the downside. A retest right there, golden. Again, takes it out, upside move into 69 bucks. That's been the top, drop down now, as Brendan said, not much happening. So for me, again, this does have memory because this is DWAC. So we can go back and try to find some key levels, but honestly, up 15% sounds pretty good to me. I would be shorting in here around 69 and probably waiting for the long and not even looking at the long. I'd go short DWAC in anticipation of a potential flush again, then get it going into the aftermarket or tomorrow morning. So for me, DJT continues to be a nice push to the downside, even though we're up 15%. We said yesterday the shorts were actually probably better than the longs. You had to have one long there. This long was good, but there's the short. And then there's a couple reload spots at 69. I still think it's a good one to that downside. We're now down here at 10. So again, like, trade your own book, but here we go. This is a nice move back in for TQs. I'm at 07. Did we just get that, Phil, or what? We're at 07s. I'll put an 08 bid, see if we get that and cancel the 07 right now. But here's come on, NASDAQ. Here's a nice move. Come on, NASDAQ. There's a nice move down. Let's see if we get that bid in on... there it is, on another short here today, heading into the close. You liked it yesterday. Let's see if we can spin it here again today.
Yeah, I did like it yesterday, and it was pretty decent of a mover yesterday. Whether you had it in the morning, this midday session, kind of a pop off of this pre-market levels, or even in the end of the day when you kind of had that whole market flush going into the close. So definitely lots of opportunity it had yesterday. Today I wasn't necessarily, I was looking at it, but it didn't really do as much as I was looking for, right? I wanted to see some test of these day highs or maybe even some of these lows. And yeah, sure, it did hit those lows, but didn't really go anywhere from there. So maybe just a little bit of a sideways day. No trade for me on this one today, but DJT definitely holding prices higher for sure above this 60. Let's see where we go. Again, it is a shorter week. It might consolidate, who knows, but it seems like prices are holding a little bit higher, and the chart is definitely building up nicely with a decent amount of RVOL as well.
All right, GameStop rolling over here a little bit once again. 13 ends up holding. Both aftermarket yesterday and then a couple of times here so far today as far as support is concerned. We're right back there once again. Q4 earnings, though, I mean, let's be honest, not good.
No, Brendo, revenue fell 19%, $1.79 billion. The street was looking for over $2 billion worth of revenue there. They turned a profit of $63.1 million, but the street was looking for more. So we'll have to see how they do. I mean, it's been a tough look for them. They haven't been able to shift their business model like Cohen said he would change that company. So yeah, much to be decided.
Yeah, it was huge volume after the close yesterday on the actual earnings report. But if you just zoom out even and have a look at the last quarter, you kind of get an idea. Not a lot of participation here today on the volume side for GME.
Yeah, we didn't even look at it in the morning. It didn't hit any of my scanners or anything like that. We were looking at a $15 move to back up to the upside. Bitcoin 68.6. I see what you guys are talking about. What's up, Rob EV there in the chat? Well, we can look at a monster. MicroStrategy in a minute. All right, so here goes GameStop. Whoa, all right, so there was a little bit of a get-go here on GameStop. It happened early. We did mention that there's going to be a short squeeze potential in this name. There's Carnival with a 9% shortfall. We'll get into that as the show goes on. They did have a report. Probably we could be on the board there. There's GameStop. Just want to double check it. 22% short. We talked about that at the beginning. Obviously, unfortunately, they missed on EPS and they missed on sales. There's no conference call. There's no analyst action, nothing like that. There's very few analysts that even cover this stock anymore. GameStop not putting out any guidance. It's just one of those stocks, man. It's been beat up for a while now. Did they have a reverse split? Let's see. If they did, it would have been back. Yeah, there it is. So all the way to the downside. So from 163 all the way down there. I guess that's just a clean move. But there was something that doesn't make sense. Was that 4-1? Anyways, nice downside move there. But we'll have to wait. I mean, that $12 bottom, I think that's just what you want to pick on. Go long down there and hope and pray that GameStop gets it all sorted out. I mean, I asked you the last time you've been in a GameStop, and it was years. So I just don't know. I don't have too much more faith in that anymore. Peloton,
well, I might not be the right crowd to ask, right? I think it caters a lot more to the younger crowd. I think. I don't know.
Sorry. I was just listening to the Peloton.
The GameStop. It's like, yeah, I might not be the best person to ask that question. Sure, I might not be going into GameStop stores.
Yeah.
But
well, no, this is not an extensive channel check. I mean, I'm just asking you. But we can ask everybody in the chat. Like, honestly, if you're a gamer,
who goes to GameStop?
Yeah, let us know. Like, when's the last time you've been into a GameStop? And if honestly, not as a shareholder, but I'm talking about like as a investor, is there a reason, if you're a gamer, that you believe to hold GameStop? That's all. I mean, they got into that NFT store selling NFTs, but that kind of was there and then not. Now I haven't heard anybody. I mean, I still have some NBA Top Shots and stuff like that, but all that stuff looks like it was just for fun. We did get into a new position here with Peloton. Apparently, some kind of a deal now where they're able to. No, it's not a deal like that. You're able to use your healthcare spending funds or something like that to help pay for your Peloton membership or maybe the bike itself.
Oh, interesting.
I just heard it in my ear, so it is interesting, but unconfirmed kind of stuff right there. We'll go baby long and see if it holds somewhere around 30 and just see if we get that spike up. But I just heard that in my ear. It doesn't look like it's doing much. Peloton continues to be beat up, but again, another name similar to that of GameStop that's just hovering around the bottom. So, yeah. All right, yeah, people are up 5% on AMC. Yeah, you know what? I think if you're an AMC kind of guy and GameStop and a meme trading, then yeah, I think GameStop's probably worth a shot there. It's at $12. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah. Let's take a piece out here. We'll ring a little bit of a register here. It's a little bit of money. I mean, it's only a $4 name, so we'll go up 5 cents. Take a piece out right here. We're long at 33 on Peloton, so we'll take a piece out, see if it goes back up to the upside. Big volume, but worth taking some out here as we're not playing this for an investment.
Yeah, that GME, I did have it on watch today as, again, earnings day one. It doesn't necessarily do too much, but I guess some of these consolidation highs did hold as a resistance off the open. You can see that even in the after hours, kind of a wick off of that 13.5, another wick off the 13.5 with the 4 a.m. opening candle, and then the 9:30 opening, kind of maybe not the first candle, but definitely the second one. This is a 3-minute chart here, so within the first 5 to 6 minutes, you kind of you attempt to break those levels and then come right back in. So I think that for a quick scalp that might have been nice, but I wasn't necessarily watching it. It didn't do too much off of the open. We're still trading sideways on GME, so not too much there for me.
All right, let's talk credit cards here. Robinhood comes out with a brand new gold card, like actually gold card today randomly, that actually has decent returns. Like you were saying, 5%
Yeah.
on balances.
Yeah. No annual fee.
And all you have to do is refer 10 people.
Yeah. I mean, look what it says, guys. It says solid gold credit card. So, I mean, there was a lot of speculation. Would it be plated, this, that, and the other? We'll find out soon because people will start getting them. Yeah, 5% cash back on purchases, no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. I'm not selling for them. It's a good look to get new consumers. They've been doing better this year. Let's see, traded well today too?
It's right here. The prize is either a 10-carat solid gold Robinhood gold card.
There you go.
For gold card account holders or $1,100 cash prize.
Okay.
So that's the referral incentive. So you either get a card that's actual gold or $1,100.
Hood. That seems, we're long Robinhood. It's been a good name for us. But that seems, I don't know. I mean, you refer refer 10, get $1,100. I guess they're trying to give like $100 per sign up, basically, including your own.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lot, but yeah, good deal there. I mean, I'd like to sign up for that. I take the $1,100. Screw the gold card. I tap everything anyways on my phone. What do I need an actual card for? But I think that would be pretty cool. All right, so we got a great move in Robinhood, man. We got basically the low of the day. So it fell in, we waited for it, we bid that level, we got it, we're long at 70. My best out is only at $20.10. It did rip, that's VWAP, it did rip up to $20.40, which again was the pre-market levels that we should have potentially got out of, but we were kind of lazy, we didn't get that out. We're still holding just our last 10%, but Robinhood, again, another name on the sticky note. It hasn't been on here in a minute, but it's on here now because of this news. So I think it's absolutely fantastic. Robinhood's a double up in 7 weeks. We talked about that. There's the minute chart for the market. Here's the daily chart for Robinhood. A double up in the last little bit. So I would say sell this, but hey, new products, more customers. I mean, that 1,100 seems a lot. Like, I don't know what their cost of acquisition is for customers, but like $100 a head, maybe that's fine. And especially if they're younger and they're going to be there and use their platform, conduct business. Because remember, I think a credit card gets what? Just a little south of like 1% or something every time there's a transaction. That's why these cards can give you those points and give you the cash back. So we'll see what the deal is here with Robinhood, but that's a very, very attractive card. And I would love to use that here because I don't really care. I mean, cash back is cash back. I'll take that 3, 4, 5%, whatever. I wish there was something like that here in Canada, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that $100 per person, I find that a little interesting as well.
Seems a lot,
again, if you understand the stats, I think
Maybe,
it's a win-win for them, I think, because they get a client base, and more often than not, they're getting all that back and more. So, but Hood off the open, quite strong, flush. Back into some previous levels right here. We can see that this previous week high and then this week's high as well, in and around that 19 and a half, and we kind of just slam back into some of those levels to start to go sideways off of that. So I didn't really have eyes on it throughout the day, but it did the majority of that momentum move just off the open, and it's just been kind of sideways consolidating chop since then on Robinhood. So
I'm in a new position just quickly before we go back here because we didn't really talk too much about chip names here yet. I'm taking this against 179. It looks like it's going to get higher here and go. But I was just trying to take AMD. I tried to give it a little bit of love against that level there. So that's what we're in right now. My stop order is 20 cents. So I have a bid down here for 20 cents. If it goes great, we'll get part filled up down there, and then we'll see if we can hold for a bigger move. But my idea here is basically 20 cents one way or the other. But now that I see this, maybe we could take 10% out for 10 cents and just put a little bit more down here in case we do fall in. So we're trying this right now with a look at NVIDIA because NVIDIA is still north of 9. So this is the play for me. It's shorting one or the other. NVIDIA is under VWAP. It has a 900 tune to it. It's down a lot more than AMD, so we could have potentially picked the wrong one as AMD's up and NVIDIA's down. I didn't even realize NVIDIA was green. So yeah, we may be in trouble here, but we're planning this trade. We've got a decent idea here, and we've got more now on the TQs. All of this could completely fall apart, but our stops are really close on everything right now as we wait to see if the short's going to come in or not.
Yeah, that.
We can go back to the desk. Yeah, let's go back to the desk and talk China.
A decent move down across the board for ADRs this morning. Market taking out the highs here for the overall futures. Decent move across the board here for ADRs. This one we kind of picked out and picked on. NIO comes out adjusting their delivery forecast to the downside this morning, so it did give you a nice opportunity initially, but here we are almost back to highs for NIO today as well.
Yeah, I feel like that may be ubiquitous to a lot of these Chinese EVs right now. We saw Li Auto do that a couple of weeks ago, and we saw the precipitous move on their stock. But NIO, no different here. They expecting to deliver about 30,000 vehicles. The market was looking for a lot more than that. Bernstein analyst Eunice Lee basically saying that she doesn't like the look of it, contracting market share there from 5% of the Chinese EV sector down to 2% despite increasing volume, Brendo. So not a good look. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, Alibaba as well, same sort of story. We got the gap to the downside today, closed that gap, and now we're headed back to the upside as well.
All right, so yeah, Alibaba's been actually my number one. Well, Robin, oh no, NVIDIA's my TQ. Okay, take that all back. Okay, we have a couple good stocks. Do we have a couple bad stocks as well? We got some out of AMD down there as it broke through 90 and got some 88s. All right, so Alibaba, look. I mean, the only time we were trading this live. That was a mistake where we got out there. We weren't playing the right level, and we got right back in. We got stopped at one time there. We took a lot of profit on the upside of Alibaba, but the thing about this name is it's not moving. It's not doing anything, and that's kind of typical in the afternoon on some of these names. So we'll have to wait to see if it gets going, but we were buying the dips in this name. It was a long. We liked the long here today. I actually thought it would have been up more than this. It really got going early and then kind of stopped. We identified all this, but let's just see what happens here with Alibaba into the afternoon. Pretty small trade left, but we're going to hold out to see if we can get a little bit higher, 71.50. I've talked about, sort of China and what that's meant for Alibaba, and I just don't. I like the name. By the way, AMD is almost about to come out as it just took off a little bit to the upside as NVIDIA went back to 905 here. AMD making a move higher. All right, well, here we go. Just broke outside a little bit. We'll take a little bit out if it comes back in here because we're now above 179. I was really trying to go short against 179. So let's take another piece out here for flat if we can. We've already taken some out for winners, and this is a very, very slippery slope. We're already short the market and not really loving the fact that we're not able to get too much more out here as this has been quite the trade here with AMD today. Positive despite, this might be the first time, man. Like we have NVIDIA down 2.5%, AMD almost up 1%. So I was sort of thinking reversion there, but yeah, maybe this is the one to short. NVIDIA is still having a problem up there at 904, 905, not hitting that VWAP and now pulling back in a little bit. Oh man, off the 50 period even, this is not horrible. We're probably short the wrong one here with advanced micro devices, but I didn't look at NIO yet and you have it up. So why don't we talk about that as I try to work my way around this AMD trade?
Yeah, so we talked about this NIO in the morning with their deliveries kind of news coming out there. Off the open, straight flush, and managed to kind of hold on to 445. A little bit of opening low as well, right? Look, this is a 3-minute chart, so opening range low right there at that 445. You come right back into it. It holds quite well, and then you kind of slowly grind right back up towards or even past that opening range high, which also is this kind of pre-market level as well. Not necessarily a pre-market high from the earlier session, but going into the open, those pre-market highs as well. And it seems like as of right now, we're holding about 5 pennies above that level right there on NIO. So a little bit muted, a little bit sideways overall on the day, but some decent move right off the open. And then if you kind of caught that slow, steady bid back up, then yeah, it could have been something as well, but wasn't necessarily on my radar. It doesn't seem like that delivery kind of catalyst moved this around too much here today. Definitely doing some ARVO in the pre-market though.
All right, guys, we've been talking about breakout trading all week. Tomorrow we finalize the last lesson. We talk about understanding continuation breakouts. So make sure to check that out with Adair and I on how to trade tomorrow at 11.
All right, we're getting... Yeah, thanks, Ram. We're getting close here to just getting taken out here on some of these names. I mean, we just got that bid at 179 flat there. as it came back in. So taking 10 cents or so, I mean, you can see it's 10 cents. We talked about that. Well, 9 cents. We're short at 99s. And then we just got out for flat there. So that's a 1 cent hit. We're still going to hold on to 2/3 of this trade, hoping that it can work out for us. But again, I don't know. I mean, NVIDIA is still below. I think that's going to be the one to short. You were on Intel before, no?
Today, yes. I guess.
Yeah, I believe.
I think I was. Yeah.
We looked a little bit
totally
into
forgot
that. Okay, just while I'm waiting for AMD to actually do something here, Peloton made a move up to 40s there right now. My TQQ trade is just, it's pennies away from getting stopped out. But again, this is going, it's not going to suck. We're basically going to be flat on the trade, but it is taking out these highs right now, 61.50. So we'll get stopped out. That's the, no, we're at the wrong price. Oh no, where's my TQ stop? Okay, that's okay. We did get stopped out there, but it was against 50s. That's my bad. Let me just I meant to change the stop. So there we go. 61.53. It need to be up here, that level right there. So yeah, it's basically the same thing. Okay, so we're about to get stopped out on that one. That's not going to be good. But Peloton was one that I wanted to look at because it's a new position. We just put it on, and it's starting to get back up into this 40 level. As we just put an offer, and you see we just got all that red action just came through there as soon as we put our offer in. But we'll punch a little bit out there at 39 and sit at 40. This is going to be a good trade at least, as AMD was okay. We didn't wind up losing that much, but there it goes, taking out the high again. As NVIDIA's not doing much, I'm guessing, Obi, it's NVIDIA is the one that we need to look at. So there's the TQs. We did get stopped out higher. We did talk about that. We'll see what happens now as it's still holding these highs at 61.50 as the market right now. TQs is the market. So we're at VWAP and we're right at these levels. NASDAQ zeros for the day. It's 226. Let's see what happens here, the rest. But not a great move here on TQ. We're flat on the day on it, so we'll need this to come back in. AMD was, I guess, not a short, but yeah, I feel like I gave it 20 cents with the amount of shares. I was pretty fine with that. Maybe we'll get back in. Peloton's starting to go now again. Peloton just took out 41s. Nice move to the upside there as we'll buy some Peloton.
Yeah, that NQ bouncing off that 18.4. I was watching that in the morning session there before lunchtime, and I guess we managed to kind of hold that level, and now we're pushing a little bit back to the upside there. So 18.5 is right there, about the halfway mark for this strong flush that we had, all the way from 18.560s, 18.570s, all the way down to below 18.4s right off the open, and then we kind of consolidate. So maybe a little bit of a reversion move happening right there. I'm watching Tesla as well. Tesla is holding above its VWAP. It kind of reclaimed that 80 level that I like to kind of, I was looking at earlier. And yeah, take a look at that. Previous kind of level holding as of right now at that 179 halves on Tesla and pushing into 180 halves on Tesla. So let's see if that market tailwind can give us a little bit of a push. I was looking for that 82. I don't know if Tesla's going to make it to 82 today, but yeah, definitely ARM, sorry, not ARM, have ARM up here on the side. But NVIDIA, definitely one to watch, as Sean just mentioned. We talked about that 900 area being a little interesting here. UPS, I got chopped up around. I got chopped up on it pretty bad, and yeah, I'm just gonna stay a little patient. I tried the short. In and around here, and kind of blast it up. I tried to short again, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna give it up to here. A little wide for my liking, but I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'll keep it a little wide, and it kind of goes all the way up there, stops me out. I'm like, well, damn, I accepted the risk, fine with that, but I was not expecting it to kind of actually hit it, but that's perfectly fine. Hits the stop, got to reassess the trade after hours, and kind of this consolidation is interesting on top of this 146 as well, so I do want to respect that. A little bit of flat sideways action, so no idea what UPS is going to do today, but I was interested in it due to the move that it had yesterday, quite aggressive to the downside from the highs, from the open, from the pre-market highs into pre-market, into the close, printing some of the lowest prices on the day there on UPS. So yeah, let's go take a look at Intel. Intel, this is what I was doing. Yeah, I did trade Intel in the morning, as Sean just mentioned. Not really in sync with it, as get long on the drive. comes back into VWAP, get out, try again, get out, and I'm like, all right, well, we're below VWAP, so let me get short on a pop that doesn't follow through in and around that 43. Doesn't work. Try again. Doesn't work. Try or did I try? Yeah, exactly. I did try again there, and that was the same one. So a little bit of an add, and then right away when it kind of breaks, I'm out of there. But sideways since then, holding VWAP on Intel. So I guess the long was definitely a little bit of a better idea if you had it from the opening drive there. The opening price on Intel being, let's see what I have here, 42.54 on Intel. So 42.54 is in and around right here. So yeah, if you took the open and you took it through the 42.5, or even if you took it into the 43 here, it might have been a little bit better. The pullback much nicer for the push in, but a little bit of a tight consolidation relative to some of what some of the other chips are doing on the day. Again, you want to be looking at something like NVIDIA. That's also in a pretty tight consolidative range, right? But the range is many, many points versus Intel being just a few pennies, right? So a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of magnitude of range there, or if that's the right terminology for it. But I think you guys know what I'm kind of trying to say there. But people in the chat were mentioning CGC, so I did pull it up and I was like, okay, well, I did have this on watch a couple days ago when it had this crazy strength coming back in on Monday, and I was like, all right, well, look for that continuation, because I wasn't here on Friday. Look for that continuation, a little bit of a FOMO. Didn't really work out, and I really like this $8 level right here. You can see Friday high comes in, Monday morning high. The second day on Tuesday, you attempt to push, it doesn't really get through, but we do hold above half of this action here, and then you hold that once again off the open. And I'm not really looking at it today. It does hold that 8 level and kind of trends to the upside. So we are attempting to push the week high, pre-market highs, as of right now, 47. So we're only about 10 pennies away from that on CGC. What's the volume doing? Let's take a quick look right there. So kind of flat, maybe a little expansive into this push. Let's see if we get any sort of interesting volume if and when we do break that high at 47 on CGC here. I'm not really trading anything as of right now. I was watching Tesla. I really like that 80 level there, but like I said before, I left the desk and kind of came back to the position being stopped out in the money, right? I got in at 10s, got out. I had to stop it at like 25s, I think, 25s or 20s, and then comes right back in and stops me out. But that 82, oh boy, nice little wick action into that 82, closing at that 81.5. And then flushing back down into 79.5s there on Tesla. But bigger kind of trend. It is holding some of these lows. It did make higher highs and higher lows here, and we're still kind of making a higher low relative to the previous one, now above VWAP as well. So looking pretty strong on Tesla going into the end of the day there. Got about an hour and a half left for the trading day. What you guys trading, let us know. I know that Apple's been kind of an interesting ticker today. Let's go take a quick look at what Apple's been doing. If I can pull up the right chart here. Where am I looking? Here's the thing. I kind of shifted around the order of my tickers in terms of because I usually kind of sort them by market cap.
Yeah, okay, sort by market.
Sorry, not by market cap. By actually, yeah, I guess it is by market cap, but more of like a constituent order.
Honestly,
in NQ. What's going on with AMD?
Nah, this is just like the story of my life. Isn't that a One Direction song? Like, look at this. Look at this chart.
Damn. It just, yeah.
It's supposed to be
I hate it when that happens.
and I have to look at charts like this. Like, look at this move to the downside right
Yeah.
now.
That's what you were looking for.
It's frustrating, my guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing about it is, it's a good thing that, okay, look, honestly, it sucks that we took that L there on that TQQ position, but we had the wrong stop there. We got right back in. Now it's coming back in. So TQQs is going to be, we're right back. I mean, we made all the money back again. So that's going to be something there that we're going to have to watch out for. But that's That's frustrating. All right, we did get some good outs on Peloton. We're almost out of that one. Only 30% left. We'll wait to see if that goes on. Here goes Alibaba finally, so let's go on that one. A little bit of a celebratory rate there. All right, what is this question here for Trade Ideas? Hey, Sean, may you ask Michael from Trade Ideas about moving average, is that what MA means? VWAP chart, outline blinker, or something like that. No, Almog Mazor. You can ask him that because I don't understand the question, but I would still like to help you out. So what you want to do is go find at Michael Noss CMT. I'll call this up for you in 1 second because the guy messages me literally daily. Hold on a second. Here it is right here. So this, and look, we have a deal with him. I mean, it's not a deal. He's just a super nice guy. Go message him immediately. First of all, I got to get out of some of these TQs. But this is it right here. At Michael Noss CMT. Go find it. He has 9,000 followers. It's going to be the right one. I'm following him. Tell him that you asked me on the show. I sent you over here. Just sign up for a BS Twitter account or whatever. He's also on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, that's there as well. I believe he is on Instagram. So just go find him and send him that message. And I don't mean to be, I just honestly, like going through the Trade Ideas platform, I could break it down for you, but I'm not going to sit there and do that just because we're doing other things here, to be honest with you right now. But good question. Thank you for that. And if you are looking for Trade Ideas, go TraderTV20. Grab 20% off of an official Trade Ideas account. Look, I am a little bit pissed off, honestly. I mean, I don't know, like this was a good trade. I thought we hit that. But again, just to stop by 5 cents kind of sucks. But again, that's trading. You mentioned that example on Tesla up to 182, missed it by 10 or 15 cents or less. And then you come back in and realize your stop got triggered. How much lower? Did you have a trailing stop?
No, I didn't have a trailing stop.
Right,
I just had a stop just above my entry. I wanted to take like a break even roughly after that first exit there. And so I did kind of move it up just above this 180. I think I had 180.10, so I think I stopped out at that 180.20. And I did have to leave my desk on that one. So a little bit could have been a little bit closer of a trail there. Maybe something off of a moving average there. Do we have a moving average stop in the system there? I don't think so. But like I know we have some sort of like trail. I know we have some sort of trailing tools as well. Here comes the NQ kind of flushing to the downside. So is the ES as well. Let's see how far we kind of get there. Did get a quick little short on Tesla here. Like I said, it is kind of strong, but I do kind of want to feel it out here if we're going to make a little bit of a lower high. What's up?
All right. So I've been here 20-something years. I should know how to use this software, which is why I direct everybody to Michael Noss, and I'll try to handle these questions right now. So the stop orders that we have, again, we have different keys that are available to us. You can open up your keyboard here on PPro, which is the platform that both Obi and I use and everybody at Real Trading uses. And all of these options are available for you in TMS, which is our trading mode, or in live. You could see ARCA, EdgeX, BATS. I have tons of different keys. There's that Edge A route. There's my flatten key that you often see me, well, not flatten position. It's a stop order that does flatten you. I always talk about that. So more to come there potentially. But no, right now you can put in hour stop. You could put in a bracket order, a flatten position, a timed stop.
Okay.
So you talked about that, I think, before, that you were looking for those type of things. You could use a trailing stop, and then you could use the references, midpoint, bid, ask, or last price. So depending on, I use last price, but sometimes if the spread is spready, you may want to take the bid price breaking or something like that, or midpoint like we showed you. And then the trigger could be this, man. So you can do percentage. So if it goes back a certain percentage, you can trigger on that, or tick size, which sometimes I don't ever use that. I know that you've filtered out ticks and stuff like that, so you could potentially get out on a tick size trade. Like if you see 1,000 lot, but with the dark pools, I would not recommend that at all. But you know what I do recommend? Dark pools
printing all sorts of sizes.
That's what I mean, and it's not real. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
could be delayed, right? Yeah.
Not just that. It's just like, it could be delayed. That's another point. But it's just, do we really care if someone did for example, 500,000 shares in the dark, obviously it's going to hit the tape and it may matter. I haven't studied that trade enough to be the guy to tell you that, yeah, that is something to look at. So there are people out there that are dark pool like fanatics. Yeah. We used to have some on the show, and I wasn't able to see any validity in those, but if you guys have stuff like that, tell us, man, because we chart everything. I actually take them off the chart. Me and Neil have had that discussion before, where there are traders that prefer to see the dark pools because there are some indicated levels there, like especially in the morning. I mean, here's a good example here, right at 8 o'clock. So you can see here on the TQs, if you come over to the screen, you'll see some dark pool trading right at 8 o'clock. This will happen on many different names. So, you know, like it's just trading here at 62.12, dark pools down here, and then the market fell off open. So maybe that's indicating something. So, you know, you can, if you study them enough, and you, like you said, man, you put in the reps and put in the work, you could probably understand anything. But for right now, the only thing I understand is more profits. So look at this. There's the waterfall back down. We did get stopped too early. I tried to cancel my stop immediately, and I wasn't able to do it, so we got right back in. But there it is. Nice move to the downside for the Qs. So it's going to be now, while NVIDIA is still my #1 stock, you can't take a $10 winner on NVIDIA or $8 and it basically not be your #1 stock. But there's the move down on NVIDIA. And this was not the crying game, but we were wondering about life at some point there because we got short at 9.19.
That's why you asked that question, right? Yeah,
I know. We got out at Porsche 911, and then it just went all the way down to 892. Bottom of the day there for NVDA.
Yeah, that NVIDIA flush off the open, oh boy, was that something to behold. And yeah, it doesn't really get anywhere further for the rest of the day. It's almost like, okay, yeah, I've done my move for the day.
Tesla just got smoked. And then Tesla battled back, NVIDIA battled back off those levels. Yeah. The market, my friend.
Tesla a little more than NVIDIA.
Is
all the way
pretty
back.
resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, is there a better word to use right now than resiliency in this market? I mean, we tried to get down. We were down yesterday in the afternoon. We battled all the way back to those levels and higher off the open. And now maybe the fade game is back on, and we'll see if it can hold some of these levels. I do choose short here this afternoon. I'm going to get out another piece of Alibaba here if we can. And then we almost had the high tick there on Alibaba in this afternoon. We got a 44, 45 print. It goes as high as 50. Let's take a piece out here at 41 if we can. And then we'll just watch out for this one as we're hoping anyways that this market can start to head back down. That is the TQQ. So this is the NASDAQ. Triple levered, Obi. So we'll get a little bit more juice coming through here. And then honestly, guys, thanks to Michael Noss, as I just looked at his beautiful face on my Twitter account, we do have Mr. Kunal Desai. Oh, I just tweeted this out. Where's Sharif at? Yo, Zuckerberg's wearing Sharif's jacket right here. We got a little black leather jacket right there. What are these two? I don't want to say clowns because I said legends. But like, aren't they not inside here? Like, I don't, huh? They swapped the jacket? Yeah, I get that this is his jacket, and but what I'm saying is like they can't take the picture outside. Like what? I don't know. I just feel like you're inside here. It's a nice cozy area, and they look like this. I get it. They switched jackets. But how many Blackwell chips do you want? All of them, says Zuckerberg right now. Nice to see he's recovered from his torn Achilles. There it is. Oh, IKEA monkey. Do you know about IKEA monkey?
I think it's like it was like popular. It became viral.
Yeah,
like,
it was like 10 years
back.
ago or something like that. So
someone took their monkey into IKEA.
This guy looks like IKEA monkey. If we could. Oh, by the way, check out this. So look at this. This is. Yeah, this
stacked.
Yeah, stacked.
That's
stacks on stacks.
That's a stacked parking lot.
So I think this is Germany. Someone said, where is this? I'm not sure, but looks like no demand. Yeah, so that was another thing. So these are just all Model Ys, I guess, here, and then a bunch of Cybertrucks just lined up. So anyways, just a quick, fun little look there at the Cybertruck starting to get packed up. And Tesla, I believe, and I wasn't sure because I made a video today. I think, Derek, maybe you could double check this. I think it might be the worst performing name in the S&P 500 this year. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, relative to a lot of the other tech names, like it's been pulling back.
Yeah, not relative to anything. The least, just plain and simple, the worst performing stock in the S&P 500. It's going to be the worst performing stock in the Mag 7.
Yeah, that's what I mean to say, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know about the whole.
Actually, I have a hot take on the podcast. I'm going to save it.
Okay. Gotta watch that one there.
Very hot take. Like so hot, I can't even say it now. It's that hot. It's coming. Oh, that's what I meant to do when I was scrolling down. We filming the podcast. There's no market recap show today, so boo-hoo on that one. Your boy and Brendo. And, hey, there's Chris Brett, your handsome gentleman. All right, so there it is today. We have Kunal Desai. I'm going to see him in person before I call this guy handsome. There it is right there. What's up, Kunal? A lot of people are very, very excited for this to come through, man. Look at this. Looking to be a great show. Thank you, Kyle. What's up to Bears versus Bulls? People saying they cannot wait for the collab between Bulls on Wall Street and Trader TV Live, and the relationship starts now because in 2 hours after the market, and we filmed the podcast. It'll be great to have Kunal on there, and just to discuss more stuff, man. I mean, he's a day trader, prop firm. We'll go over his bio. You guys can go find that out. We're pretty excited to have him on.
He has a prop firm? He has his own prop firm?
Bulls on Wall Street, so he created that. I think it was in 2008 or so. I have the notes. Is that right?
Yes.
Huh.
Press myself, just not with the trades. No, so yeah, and he runs basically, it started off as a kind of like a bulletin board and a chat room, and then it just opened up similar to like some SMB stuff and things like that where they're teaching things. So yeah, we'll talk to Kunal about all that and get his ideas on some interesting things, hear his story, and then I'm going to ask him a couple fun things, and we'll find out what that guy is all about. Kunal Desai, find him on our podcast.
I've seen a couple of his videos. I'm not too familiar. I didn't know he had a whole prop firm and stuff. But yeah, that reminds me. I was somewhere on this weekend.
It's not a prop firm, remember, just teaching.
Okay.
I don't want to say this guy has a prop firm.
Okay, all right. I went to an event over the weekend. People were asking, where'd you go? So I just want to give a quick shout out. I met some awesome traders over the weekend. I went to New York for a trading summit held by SMB Capital. So I got to meet some of those traders and talk to them and listen to their presentations. It was really, really cool, and a good networking event, and met a lot of other traders from all over the world, and obviously the States and New York as well. Yeah, great presentations and good relations as well, like good connections.
So give me the one. I mean, I'm sure you have lots of takeaways, but give us.
Yeah, I'm just like.
What was one that maybe opened your eyes to something?
I think it was like specificity. I think it was their hiring manager. I think Jeff Holden. Nice presentation. I really liked that scalping presentation as well. But yeah, specificity. I think that was a big kind of general concept, being really specific as to what you're looking for and things like that. So that was a kind of a game changer because I thought I was being specific. Nowhere close.
Not specific enough.
Not specific enough is what I realized, and I was like, okay, well, so yeah, a little bit of invested in some self-education over the weekend and some networking, and it was great. And yeah, there was their first annual summit in New York at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. Kind of a funny story, a little side note. When I got there in the morning, so I was living with a friend. I was staying with a friend in New Jersey. And then so I had to take the train in the morning. So took the train in. Pretty nice transit system. I like it. Pretty clean, smooth. Yeah. Got from New Jersey to what is it called?
These guys would know the A train.
Penn Station, and then walk to Times Square.
Penn Station gorgeous too?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Union Station is pretty hype now here too. Now that they've redone it, but yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I get to the event, like the hotel, and then get on the elevator. The event's on the 9th floor, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Hit the elevator. Whatever elevator opens, me and another attendee that was there.
Those guys couldn't afford the penthouse. What kind of a thing are they running?
No, the one of the rooms was on the 9th floor, right? There was so many events. There was like a huge kid event going on. There was kids everywhere because it's March break.
Oh, Comic-Con or something?
So I don't know what it was, anyways, the elevators were packed. So we hopped into this elevator right away. The elevator moves for not even 40 seconds. We get out of the elevator. Somehow we're on the 30th floor.
That's right.
And then we're waiting for another elevator to go back down to the 9th floor. We talked to the people there. Like, yeah, some of the wait times can be up to 20 to 30 minutes.
Yikes.
And the event starts in like 5 minutes, I'm like, oh boy, we gotta make some moves. I'm like, at least it's down down the stairs. We just ran down the stairs to the ninth
To
floor.
get a
I was like, all
workout
right,
in,
yes.
you get to get your focus.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Met some great people. I think it was
Sweet.
well worth it. Well worth it.
Well,
So yeah,
congrats,
guys at
man. Yeah, that's a
SMB,
fun time for sure.
great event. Shout out to you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for everything that you guys did.
Did the streets of New York smell like weed, or is that just Toronto? Someone's asking in the chat. By the way here, yeah, so we just had, sometimes, I just want to say, sometimes the CN Tower has to go down for repairs. So right now in Toronto, the CN Tower is they're cleaning it a little bit. It's kind of hard to get to and stuff like that. So there's the CN Tower right now in Toronto, unfortunately, being looked after for repairs right now. So, yeah, no, of course not. That is not real. Anyways, pretty cool. The stuff you could do with AI, that Sora AI and things like that right now.
What does Sora do?
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
an
too
addition
familiar.
to Chat GPT that it's
Okay.
like an add-on, and it just. Brendan was
Is it the
talking about it,
video
I
one?
think, either on the podcast or on the show, where you can, so you have to prompt it. It's apparently, I've never used it, so people in the chat probably will, but you have to tell it like, oh, I want to show, like for example, maybe a trader running down the stairs, getting ready for a meeting. You can actually do things like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
And you could tell it to stuff like, that's why that came up.
Right.
You could say, show a video of the CN Tower falling, something like that. So anyways, scary stuff, to be honest with you, about how it can influence people's opinions on things. Like I remember,
you got to be able to parse that information out. But when it's so visually,
I worry about it in not just war times, but just like as if Nvidia's at 1.7 or AMD's at. Man, oh man. Okay, no, I worry about it with false information is what I'm getting at. It's just like hard to know what you can trust and what you can't trust. That's all.
Yeah.
Just double check all of your sources and things like that. And of course, we talked about Reddit being relatively new for news source. That's the kind of stuff that I wonder about training large language models on stuff on Reddit, if it's going to be hard to kind of figure out what's real, what's fake. But we talked about that with Randy earlier as well. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I'm still mad. I mean, I'm mad. As a trader, you're never. We talked about that. I have that thing on there that has like 30 or something thousand views. I want to thank everybody for that. But it was just about, being able to control your emotions sometimes when you're trading, because like this, I think was a good trade. It's just, you put your stops in, like I was short at 179, I gave it to 179.20, only to know it went as high as 179.30, looks like the high tick there. So stopped out by basically 7 pennies. Well, let's call it 10 pennies, because our stop was there, and then only for it to drop down now where we would be 80 or 90 cents in the money. So yeah, that kind of stuff does suck, and I hate that, but that's trading, and if you have issues like that, then you are a trader, and which is great. And if you are, just go read this. There's been a lot of people, 36,000 views already, man, 166 likes. It just talks, trading is more than numbers on a screen. It's the journey that defines you. And actually, Obi, you and I actually talked about this. This is just derived from a bunch of stuff that I read. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's when you're on a prop floor, like we're doing, you're really trading for yourself. And you have to find, you talked about specificity.
Yes.
And, the story's never going to end. Oh, no. You need to find yourself where you're going to get these better results from and sort of create your own destiny at the end of the day. And we can't have FOMO about trades, just positive vibes. And that's the big thing there, because all I do now is when I look at that and I say, you know what, actually, nailed the idea. It's just you're going to get stopped out of some trades. Yep. And if you have more decisions that are right than wrong, I feel like you'll be able to get paid off on those. And I feel like a good example is this. Now this is going to be my number. Like, we made way more money on this than we lost on AMD. We played the short, it held it, we got back in, now we're taking this out. So it's just like one trade leads to another, but stay positive, and keep those vibes going. So that's one thing for me that I have to do right now. Robinhood's still 30 cents in the money, and we did get filled on, we had an Alibaba tick higher. Let me offer that. That's why that is showing purple, because we had a higher tick there. So, all right, we'll wait for Alibaba to get back up to the upside, and let's go over to Brendan.
Get as much as 50 to 1 leverage when trading Forex at IG. Currencies like Euro and USD can require as little as 2% margin rates and offers 0% and $0 commission trading using a Forex account at IG for a limited time. Traders can open, fund, and trade with IG for up to $10,000 in funding bonuses. Terms and conditions apply.
That sounds like a little Robinhood. They get all these bonuses. We like that. Shout out to IG and Mr. Frank Caberna, of course, who should be on. He wasn't on yesterday, but maybe scheduled for tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's coming. But shout out to Frank and go find those guys out at IG. Hit the QR code there for certain. All right. Well, obviously we're now 50 cents in the money. I mean, this trade is a fire trade. Let's see if we can hold it now. We saw a major move down yesterday. Pay dirt, man. Pay dirt, like big time. Let's see if we can do it again today. We erase all those sham wow trades before and see if we can get it back in here. Let's go to 60.90, 60.80. Let's put some bids down here, see if we can get back in to the low of the day again here on some of these names. This will just be the NASDAQ. I'm honestly wondering, you asked me that question earlier, Obi, and it was actually more of a fantastic one than I could have even thought then. And that was about trading an ETF versus the physical equity itself.
Right.
I mean, that's back-to-back days where NVIDIA is still my number one trade, but this is, or P&L was. But this is right there right now. And we're trading technicals, we're trading past levels, and it's just working. So maybe there is something to be said about sticking with ETFs, playing that kind of momentum with maybe bigger size on the ETF because you can trust the play and you don't get that single stock risk of getting just blown out. Like, I don't know if you saw Amazon. I think you're in a meeting there with everybody because you guys still do that. Amazon in the middle of the day on this volume announced another $2.75 billion into Anthropic.
Intraday news?
Yeah, so all of a sudden it just climbed up there a little bit, only to now fall back in. But that sort of got it going back up there to the upside. So again, if you're trading maybe an ETF, I mean, a lot of ETFs have Amazon in it, but a retail ETF or whatever reason you're trading Amazon for, you may not have had to withstand that, and then the true play would have came in, which would have been the long anyways. So that's just a little bit of a talk there. I think that was a good play for you earlier when you mentioned that. Robinhood still doing nothing, sitting there at these levels. My eyes keep going up because I'm just looking at trade ideas. I'm looking at different scanners that come through as well. Gold, maybe I see some people talking about that in the chat. Gold has, I think it was since 1920. Do you know what the annual return on gold is?
No, not off the top of my head.
0.9%.
Okay.
That sound like an investment to you? Answer is no.
No, not really.
No, it's not. That's not an investment.
As a day trader, that doesn't sound that good.
You know what inflation is? Average?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a losing proposition, gold. But breaking out now, we've talked about that. Maybe we'll look at gold and we'll talk about that on the podcast as well. More hot takes coming.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that podcast. Let's see what Kunal has to say. And I think it's his first time, right?
The first guest ever on the podcast. First time we've seen Kunal in our Trader TV Live environment.
Nice. Yeah, that should be definitely interesting. I'm gonna be. He's coming in on a call, right?
He'll be in on a call. Yeah, we'll be doing Zoom or something today. It should be a lot of fun. And he's gonna have so much fun that he'll probably be coming back.
Nice. Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It's our party.
I'm looking at this Tesla right here. Kind of got a little wick action to the highs and then comes right back in there. Market testing or trying to go back to that 18.4. Let's see if it can actually get there right now. But I don't have too much on watch here. I am looking at some of these charts. Don't really. Let's see. My plans were, I guess, DNUT. UPS. I did have some ARM and RDDT.
AMD's $1 now.
AMD's $1 in the money. Yeah, AMD's
Oh,
been.
no, yeah, not in the money.
What's the AMD up to here? Okay,
Because
so
Tesla, because
below
NVIDIA.
that 180.
We screwed that up because we talked about NVIDIA. And honestly,
coming in.
NVIDIA's the one, right?
Yeah, NVIDIA's
so
coming
when
in.
we were getting slapped around there, we did not get slapped around. We lost a couple, couple matcha lattes there. The idea here would be is that we had noticed NVIDIA was not breaking here. I wasn't here, it was right here, sorry, that's not that high. It was right into here where we were shorting this, right? And then around 230, what was actually under VWAP, under everything, under the 50. This should have been the short. All right, let's go. Ooh, I like this one. There is a note in here, I'm just hearing in my ear. I'm gonna go long here quickly on Amazon. There's a note about internal leaking that they may have be able to save some money on some office related expenditures, cuts, things like that. So obviously we've heard some stock. I'm gonna wait for that to be reported. We'll take a baby position against this bottom here, 178.50 for Amazon. Just hearing cost cutting rumors in my ear. We'll bring it to you, but nothing, just saying Amazon shares increase activity, so we can clearly see that. Let's see now what happens with Amazon. Small position here, maybe we make a little bit on this, we'll try it. Up to 70 would be nice, and then we'll analyze it from there. Into the 200 would be good, and then more upside, because hey, look, even if you have 100 shares or whatever amount of positions you guys have out there, or nothing at all, interesting to see. So, it's kind of like a new part of the show, actually, Obi, for me anyways. I'm always watching the news, but I just kind of want to, because I've taken positions before where the story's nothing. It's tough to analyze, because when you're playing breaking news or anything like that, you really have to be careful on what that actually means for the company. Yeah. Is it an older story? Are these, and this is just from Benzinga Pro, and it completely responsible for all the trades I make. I'm not making this for any reason other than that. Amazon's been strong today, the market's down, but you have to be careful that some of these stories are rehashed stories. Yeah. So they're just on the wire right now. Good short on Tesla that you have, by the way. They're just stories that are being rehashed. So you got to be very careful with that. But we'll hold on for Amazon, which is why I have a take here for about 70 cents. Watching out for some of these bottoms to break. Let's give this back into 40 or so. It feels like they're, even without this news and nothing else, it came into VWAP. I kind of like the long. We're getting closer and closer to being out of our TQQ trade. And Amazon down here should have some kind of support back into the 40s. So I actually don't mind this trade, but it is the story that got me involved. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, I did kind of. So you guys know I was short on Tesla. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna try to feel it out there. We pushed that 180.50. Lick grabs a consolidation high, stops me out. I'm like, oh boy, not without me. As it comes right back in, I'm gonna get right back into that short below that 180 half, and then it comes right back in. Let's see if we can get that reversion down into VWAP being at 179. I don't know if I'm asking for too much, but we did attempt to push that 181 half, and we are making higher lows. So I'm only looking for a quick little scalp there. I know I'm kind of against the trend here, but that action was I like what I saw there for a quick scalp. Just still trying to figure out how far I can really take the scalp in the long run there when I see that kind of action there. So this consolidation in and around about 20-30 pennies there. So let's see how far we can get to the downside, high being 81 halves where this candle closed, and then the ultimate high being 81.90s as well. So a little reversion to VWAP going into the close. We got about this going into power hour actually. So there's some size on the bid getting eaten, but it is a name like Tesla, and I've been watching it for a little bit here, and any sort of size that kind of comes up either way, it's more than capable of taking it out, is what I'm trying to say there. So nothing too outlier in terms of size that showed up, even with a couple hundred lots there on Tesla. But let's see what we do here on with the rest of the market here. I know that NVIDIA was pushing to the downside, so let me pull up the chips real quick. And yeah, so chips. Right here, NVIDIA below that 900 now, 898. So we couldn't necessarily get past that 907. So those shorts that you had never would have been out of the money there, Sean. So those definitely, that just goes to show those were great prices to sell, right? Those are great prices to sell at, and it continues to kind of even consolidating for over a few hours there, with only about an hour left in the trading day. It's still kind of attempting to push towards its lows there. ARM, we talked about the plans that I had. ARM, I was looking for a hold of this 122, 123 level-ish, and I definitely missed that, as the low of day was right at that 122 there. Sean saying Amazon is going. Yeah, that Amazon catalyst, I wasn't really here for that Amazon catalyst, but I can see that the volume
right now.
That volume came in. You're talking about this one.
Oh, that
earlier,
one. Yeah,
right?
You weren't here for that. No.
I wasn't necessarily here for that.
That was just Anthropic. So what they basically came out and said was, and by the way, here we go. We're at 78. Can you not give me a 70 damn 8? Wow. All right. Well, there's the Amazon hot off the presses story. Move over, Adara and Brendo. We got Benzinga in our ear now. But it was just a quick one there. It's now being picked up by Bloomberg. There it goes. Nice little move to the upside on Amazon. We're just taking this back. Also, the futures went there. So this is why you have to be very, very careful. And this is why I just joke about that. You know, Brendan and Adara, once something is published on something, that's when it's better to bring it. Like, I'm just literally hearing some of these little pieces in my ear. I'll bring it to you, whatever I can hear. But it's, again, been wrong. Not been wrong, but, you know, there's lots of stuff that happens in the market. So if you're attached to anything, go get it. It's Benzinga. I believe it's in our description. You can grab the QR code, and then they do have little live squawks here that I'm connected to. So I think it's a great opportunity. Here we go. So I'm hearing something about Lucid right now.
What's happening with Lucid?
I don't know.
Yeah,
they're just saying a spike in Lucid right now. So there it is. Look at this. A little bit of a move up right there. Yeah. So there it goes. You know, I'm not hearing a story about it. And this is why when I was telling you, you know, we leave that kind of stuff to breaking actual news, because if there's a story here, that's a completely different idea than something gapping up and then completely stopping. So we'll wait for that one. We'll wait for Amazon. Amazon's trying to go. I mean, I feel pretty good about this trade. And then the TQs, we've just been emptying out the clip, man, to the point where we only have about 20% left. So that was another one. I mean, we hit this the last couple of days and been pretty proud about it. So good trading here on the TQs for sure. I think we've learned a little bit of something. We can go back and start to trade the futures if we're a little bit off put with some of these stock actionable events on stocks themselves. Amazon makes a move all the way back up, Obi. There we go. We'll take out some at 77 again because that move just happened. We corrected back in. We went right back up. It's Amazon, and we're long this name right now. Against some of that. So yeah, and there he says in the chat, a lot of stories are just rehashed all the time. 100%. That's why it's buyer beware.
Old news.
Literally all of the time.
Yeah, I think that
like Lucid came back down off that spike.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so it's news that's been out from before, right? And I think those can provide for great opportunities as well, where it's like if a move happens, like a euphoric move happens, and you're like, oh well, this news has kind of already been out, and then the move doesn't really follow through. I think it's good to kind of look for the fade on that kind of move there, and. What was
Well, that's kind of
It was kind of similar, I guess. I always talk about this one trade that I had while I was retail at home.
Okay.
One of my better trades.
That's fine.
It was Kodak.
Yep.
You remember Kodak?
Of course.
And of course it got a little bit of the Trump seal.
It was a Trump seal for sure.
What happened? I remember in the morning. What happened was. Kodak had that news, right? It was a good move off the open, and then a beautiful all-day short into the close, right? They were talking about how Kodak has the infrastructure to bring drug manufacturing in-house. This was during COVID and everything, the COVID fear.
Story.
Oh yeah, this is engraved in my mind. This is one of my better trades. I was like, okay, well, it got a little lucky, got a lot lucky, but so in the morning, take that short, nice clean fade, get out of the trade. I know for a fact there are people that are swinging this short big time, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I might not want to swing it like that, but the short is on. It comes, here comes the close, and then I'm chilling out. The market's done. I'm kind of taking a break. I'm outside. I'm scrolling through YouTube. All of a sudden, breaking news. Trump has a what are they called? The NFT? Presidential
campaign?
No, announcement or something. Like an impromptu press conference or something, right?
Yeah.
So it did RVOL. It was in play. That was day one, and then he comes out in the after hours, being like, okay, well, you know, we've been kind of we see how the situation is. We're going to be bringing drug manufacturing in-house. He doesn't even say the ticker's name at this point. And I'm thinking, I'm like, there's only one ticker that had this kind of news today, and it was shorted like crazy all day, and it clean fade. I run back to my computer, right? It was in and around $7. I just punched the ask. I got like $9, and it just slowly, boom, 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 in off the open. It's trading at 50s. It pushes up into 50s. First. No. Well, I was short on the first day.
Right.
I took the short. I took a quick short trade.
So you were out at this point.
I was out of it. In the morning, it opens up. I'm like $9, nice. You know what? It's got the presidential seal. This has a high probability of squeezing. Lo and behold, come off the open, and we're squeezing past those 50s, and I'm like, holy!
So what?
Absolutely wild squeeze.
So what was the end result? I mean, this whole story. You got long 9, 7.
Yeah. Got out in the 50s.
Oh, 50s.
Yeah. It was like 40s
I was
or 50s.
waiting.
High 40s and 50s. Yeah.
Wow, great trade. Maybe your best trade ever.
Wild. Yeah.
On the retail side. Good job, man. Well, congratulations.
Little story there. Little presidential pump or seal from the DJT himself.
Weren't those days wild, man?
Oh.
I mean, I think we all remember those for sure.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that was trading back then, wild days. Okay, so just, and those of you that know, that's for sure.
That's when I realized like how powerful the offside trade can be.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Going the opposite way of...
No, clearly the majority or like a significant portion of the free float or the traded float is trapped in that situation.
So that was like maybe one of your first experiences with short floats potentially.
Not necessarily, but I was like, this is very likely to squeeze because I liked playing squeezes because anything and everything would squeeze. There was a time where like high short floats were in play where it would just they would have some crazy squeeze action if they got trapped. And I was like, yeah, this is a classic kind of like a trap. And it was the fuel for the trap came from the president.
Right.
Well, the bid or whatever.
That guy
right?
fuels a lot of ideas.
I mean?
That is for sure. You know what's fueling right now, though, is the market. The market bringing money to the shorts. And guess what, man? I mean, I misuse that Brittany, we did it again thing all the time. But where's Brittany at? Because honestly, like we're not even going to say oops this time. I mean, this is exactly what we did yesterday. It's the exact, nothing's ever exact back-to-back days, but this is the short that we called, man. We were talking about this. Let's go. I mean, here goes the TQQs, man. We were talking about getting this into the 80s. We lost a little bit of patience by getting some out there at 10 and then some right now at 61, but here we go. I mean, these are the plays we're looking for. So now let's do that, man. Let's just put a bid. We're only 7 cents away from getting this bid anyways. So we'll put a bid in there, and there it goes, man. Let's go. That's a chicken dinner winner. You do not have to like chicken to like this winner. That is for sure. Nice move down. Shout out to vegetarians and everybody alike. That's a nice move right there. And what a upsetting. Good vibes only, my guy.
Gotta have the vibes.
As AMD just goes all the way down, and we got stopped out for a 20-cent loser, which of course now is cash money. Down $1.50 from that. And there goes NVDA right now as the market is losing steam. I have no idea why I'm thinking short all the time into the close. Honestly, I'm not finding too many positive catalysts in the market right now. All right, because we're still away from earnings, right?
NVIDIA is about to push day low.
I had NVIDIA up right now. That was what I was going to look at. I was quickly going to go over to Tesla because Tesla had such a dramatic move earlier on that if we can catch something, like look at that trade on NVIDIA. That was our trade earlier, guys. Like, I thought $9 was diamond hands. Not even close. All right, 892, and that diamond hand thing is pretty crazy. There it comes into the low of the day for NVIDIA. We actually highlighted the fact that it was down while it's, compadres, it's whatever you want to call these guys, competition maybe. AMD was actually up on the day. So we thought we were maybe the wrong way on that trade, but it's still falling back in again right now.
What's going on? What's the
Okay.
this is a good one.
No, Netflix is tanking right now, but I laugh because I just heard in my ear And shout out to Kevin Uterid. He works for NASDAQ Canada. He was on the show for a while when we used to have some of our people that are brokers or working for exchanges on the show, so on and so forth. We don't have that anymore. He came on looking like Tiger King one time, and it was absolutely hilarious. I don't know that dude's name in Tiger King, but it was a topic of discussion on the show because I was watching it. The whole freaking world was watching it. I think it still might be the most ever watched series of all time. Tiger King. I know that's going to sound ridiculous, but trust me, if you look it up, it's in there. Anyways, I just heard in my ear that Netflix was going down because it was facing some sort of a suit about them producing Tiger King 2 or something like that. So I have no idea. It was some sort of a story about Tiger King 2. But anyways, Netflix to the downside, and I just want to talk about that because we had just mentioned stuff about news stories, and you get a nice little bit of a move down. Obviously, the market's moving down, but there's Netflix down another 3%. And again, how the mighty will fall. This is not. I don't think this is a hot take. All right, the market is going to revert.
Remember when Netflix was all the way at its lows? That's what we're looking at.
That's the only time I bought it.
I was watching this ticker, or I was looking at this ticker last night, and I was like, and then we talk about kind of how, what was it, Meta? Meta did kind of a similar move like this. Amazon's doing a similar move like this, and now we're seeing Netflix push a move like this as well. Kind of a V-shape on a weekly, or even pull up a monthly, V-shape on a monthly, absolutely wild there. Kind of recovering. Look at that quadunk. What was this? Happened in the span of, what is this, 3, 6, 7, 8 months roughly. We hit the lows. 7 months we hit the lows, and then it took quite a while to kind of come back. We're not even back at those highs there, but that what is that? November 21. So first November 21 marked the highs for Netflix, and then we come in with that strong flush. Nice little reversion happening. Netflix?
Yeah.
Because it's like, how some of their shows are just got it.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a little play on words. I like to call them Netflix. So they make some good shows. They make some whatever shows, but I like that. It's like
remember so Netflix actually they produce shows themselves. That's for sure. I mean, Stranger Things and things like that have been.
There's some good ones. Yeah.
And shout out to someone in the chat was like Joe Exotic. That was the dude's name. That guy. That was a hilarious show. We used to have some fun with Tiger King around here. I feel like we had things to show that were Tiger King related, but I don't see any now. That was so long ago. But they buy content too, right? So they'll buy.
Yeah, they'll buy them up and put a stamp on it.
That's Squid Game. Like something that was really popular there. I think is that Korean? But anyways, really popular show there, and they buy the rights to it and then get that all figured out. And that's been, we're almost done. I don't know if anybody's watched The Gentleman, but that's a Guy Ritchie thing on Netflix. It's really great.
I've seen it.
I've seen like
the trailer.
Have you seen the series though yet? So we're on episode. Well, we have episode 8 tonight, or at some point. That'll be the last one.
The Gentleman is the one. The movie is the one with. Here, let me.
Yeah, you look it up. Yeah, it's Guy Ritchie did both of them, I believe. Brendan brought this to my attention that there was the movie originally, but now there's a series on Netflix. So it's really great. I think it's the same actors.
Yes, The Gentleman, the movie I have seen. That was.
Oh yeah, it's Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. Here, I'll pull this in right here. That's from IMDb.
So it's where they run the weed farm in their back.
Yes. Yeah. It was good. Nice little. It's a gangster movie.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Gangsters.
And so if you want to see a series, it's 45 minutes a show.
Okay.
So that's really
related.
Yeah, like that's not fall asleep level for me. So, like I have a problem watching movies, unless I'm like really into it. If we're watching it at home or something.
Yeah.
And especially if it's like as if I'm going to stay awake at like 10 o'clock to watch like a 2 or 3 hour movie on like a Friday night or something like that, because it's like the kids go to bed, whatever, let alone if I have like a glass of wine or something. Okay, enough story talk. All right, Peloton, we've already got a little piece out of that one. TQ's now 55 cents in the money. We're watching out for that. Let's find some more trades. All right, so we said we'd look at Tesla quickly for that to see what happened there. What happened to Amazon? Oh, okay. So we did have a small piece of Amazon. I wasn't even paying attention to this because, again, most of them out here at 73 and then at the 50 period here. Let me just tell you guys, so we did lose on the last 20%. I actually forgot that we had this as I was going about this. I was just watching TQQ and so on and so forth. But okay, so right now that's working out for us. Peloton, Robinhood, and Alibaba. We have a very small piece of Alibaba left. That's not doing anything. I would say get back into some of these longs, but with it's 318 now. I think we're just going to be looking for some shorts. So that's why I kind of got off track there because I wanted to go talk about Amazon, Tesla. So again, if we're going to go long on something, excuse me, let's go long if something pulls back into VWAP. That's strong. So this Tesla, we have to wait for 179. So that's not that far away right now. Generally speaking, in the past, again, I'm a changed damn man, including this right now. Let's go. We get that print in the TQQ here. So yeah, man, we're just shorting here as the day goes, but there's a nice little print there on the TQQs. As you can see, it's a nice move to the downside right here to end the day, hopefully on this name. But we're shorting the market here. Let's see if we continue to fall down. So that trade I'd be looking at would be Tesla down here in and around that 170. What was the level I just gave? 178? Yeah, 179 actually, down into here, 179. Let's put some bids there, test this long if we come into Tesla at 179.
Yeah, I like that as well. I'm sitting short here, 180 halves, looking for that 179 to come in if that'll get there. But yeah, kind of coming into the downside with only about 41 minutes left till the bell, and the NQs are testing or attempting to test some lows there. Nvidia pushing to the low as well. Softy recently printed fresh lows in the previous 15-minute candle as well. So yeah, a few of the big boys kind of printing lows. Apple on the other side, we kind of talked about how it might be opposite day for Apple. Apple's attempting or trying to push for high a day there. High a day being 173.12, trading at 172.80s right now. So only about roughly 30 pennies away from high a day there on Apple. So interesting kind of move there as the market kind of comes in. Apple's a little disconnected on the day, and it kind of showed us that it was disconnected in the morning, right? It was like, all right, well, I'm going to do my own thing here relative to some of these other large cap constituents in the NQ and the ES there. Is Nvidia in the ES? I totally blanking out, but definitely in the NQ. No, as constituents. I'm blanking right now. I gotta.
What was the question?
Nvidia in the ES.
In the S&P 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, S&P 500. I mean, Nvidia is the third
one,
largest company in the world.
Yes.
It's in the S&P 500.
Brain fart.
Yeah, brain fart time. Right there. But okay, so it's just funny because that name has just risen to epic levels this year alone.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
The AI bid, right? It all started off with the AI bid. Semiconductors are kind of running all year. If you went long Nvidia or any of the chips at the beginning of 2023, you're sitting pretty right now, right? So definitely a lot of this action, a lot of that bid, I think was part of that bid was definitely that AI kind of move, that AI hype that brought us in with the chips leading the way.
Okay, Marriott Marquis.
Yes.
Chef Joe is where his restaurant is, top floor, Marriott Marquis.
No way.
He said he would have hooked you up.
Wow.
He said he had no idea you were there.
Wow. Yeah,
He's
we're on
like,
the 9th floor at
shout out to Chef Joe.
the ballroom. Okay.
Yeah, he said he's also on the 6th floor in the main kitchen for the entire hotel.
Oh, I ran to grab some lunch.
Small world.
I ended up going to the little store there because I was like, okay, the next lecture is starting soon. I just got to go grab something real quick. But yeah, no, sure. Next time for sure, I'll hit you up, Chef Joe.
Yeah, he had mentioned that to me too. He's like, oh, the next time you guys are in New York or whatever, give him a shout. So there it is, man. A man true to his word. Shout out to Chef Joe. Again, we always talk about having the best community. Shout out to you, my guy, and for all that too. So there it is, man. Chef Joe at the Marriott Marquis. So that was kind of cool. All right. I hope he was okay with me saying that. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't have been. All right, so
I still have to go touch the bull, so
you're going back. You're going back.
Yeah.
You're going back.
So, Chef Joe, we'll meet soon enough.
You
Don't
will
worry.
meet. You will meet the Obi at some point, and you'll meet me at some point.
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
go.
Who, me?
Let's make a trip.
No, I don't pay for anybody to teach me something about how to trade. My God, right there, that is for sure. I should be speaking.
Go for a visit.
Go for a visit. Yeah. That's. I'll go to New York for sure. Right there. But okay. Now I just want to say that Apple coming in.
I need all the mentorship I can get. You know, I'm trying to be a sponge.
No. I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying you can get as much. That's honestly, that's what it's all about. You just said be a sponge. You cannot. We already talked about this. You could not read enough, get enough information,
meet enough people,
meet enough
traders,
find different trading styles.
Yeah.
That
was interesting as well. Like how
everything.
differently everybody kind of trades. It's very, very interesting and unique ways to trade as well. So. Definitely, I've been marinating on that information over the past.
I've been
days,
invited to do the money show and different things like that throughout. It's just we're trying to figure out what we want to do here and if we're going to do stuff like that. So what's up?
Might be going to Vancouver in a couple of weeks for another kind of a trading thing as well.
Want me to get you a free pass?
What's that?
Want me to get you a free pass?
To Vancouver?
Where are you going? What show are you going to? Let me know.
The thing is, I don't know him too well, but yeah.
I don't know him at all. Okay, so all right, I think you should go, man. Yeah. All right, so you're gonna go in there in a couple of weeks.
Okay, we'll
take some pictures, man. We gotta take some pictures.
Yeah, I'm not really much of a pictures guy, but yeah, sure, I'll take some pictures.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll take some pictures of the food you're gonna have then at least. Vancouver, man, have some nice sushi over there for sure. All right, Alibaba, Hood, so we're not really into anything. The market did bounce up. We did not, obviously, get close enough for us to buy anything there down lower on Tesla, so that came into 179 and change. We'll find out what that's going to happen down there on that downside. We looked at Rivian before. I know it's 325. We're going to get those updated numbers in a minute, so hopefully that will be here for sure. Rivian 1105. You know what I was actually thinking about doing is, especially if people are in the GTA, I was almost thinking of like meet and greet on the golf course and things like that. Like I think that would be a lot of fun for a lot of traders, and just fun things like that. Because Neil, when he was here, and I'll have to talk to him when he gets back, he had said to everybody that he was going to be organizing some kind of a meet and greet. So maybe when he gets back, that will be on his mind. Because again, he's on vacation, so you got to plan that. And then when he gets back, we'll talk to him about that. All right. So again, Rivian, we talked about this earlier today. Greater than the market. Definitely gets going when it does. And that little break there, we talked about it at 11 o'clock. I don't know if traders remember if they were on when that was happening, but we had mentioned a possible top break there of Rivian, and it's never seen that again. So Rivian still, nice move up 4%. Looking at names that are like this, that they're greater than the market, and Rivian is one of those names today starting to get going. One name that we didn't look at was Meta, though. Okay, well under 500 again. See? Kind of just like this. This is why I go over and choose pain on the market instead of on individual stocks. Like if I'm going to short something here, Meta, you could just get wicked out like right there. Like if you went short 493, that looks like a trade that I took. Then you get wicked out and then the drop happens. This is probably the same time as AMD. But then look how smooth maybe. You asked me about SMH. There's still SOXL and there's other stocks like that. But again, like it's the same thing. Like everything is the same levels. It's just you might not get like that random 20 or 30 cent spike up because that's not how ETFs work. You can get nice spike ups on, like, see the wicks here? They're not, where are the wicks at? If you're going to look at a stock like NVIDIA or something like that, now watch this blow up in my face.
What the hook gonna be? You remember that?
No, but that must be from, what's that from?
I forget who it was by. Hold on.
This guy. But there it is. Like, look at some of these higher. See, so if you're playing off this, like this wick alone on NVIDIA.
Murphy Lee.
I still don't know who it is, but
okay.
That is funny. Okay, just the way you said it was great. But there it is. So there's just different wicks, what I'm getting at here. So like if you're using this area as a stop, basically 900 or so, you get that wick up that just kind of like rant, goes up about $1, gets stopped out, and then this tank happens. Just less of those on ETFs. So just something to take in consideration, because you asked me that great question earlier, and I didn't have the greatest answer, but I feel like that's another one that we can add into our portfolio. Trading ETFs, less chance getting you know, extended out on either an individual stock story or a quick spike in the futures. You don't get wicked out as
not
easy
as wicky, yeah, for sure.
on that. So
Lots of liquidity as well.
that's why I feel like when you're using the TQQs, I'm giving it like 5 or 10 cents of extra space just so I don't get involved in something like that. But it can really hurt you on NVIDIA because those wicks can be $1 or $2.
Okay.
What's up, Fabian?
Yeah. I think, yeah, you might have just been looking for something. I remember the name now, Bear Bull Traders. You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're having a summit in Vancouver. Yeah, that's Andrew Aziz. I think I saw him once at the Money Show, but like I said, I don't really watch their content as much, but I have started a little bit just to kind of see who these guys are. Tesla's kind of bidding back up into that 180, so you know what? I'm just going to get out of that one right there. A little bit of a different change in pace of that tape. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And there's a Traders for a Cause event afterwards as well.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I've always wanted to go to the one in Vegas, but I'm like, all right, let's start off with the one in Vancouver as well. But yeah, good opportunity to talk to some traders and kind of meet and greet some people. Ask them about trading style, and you know, ask them about how they trade, how they trade, things like that.
Yeah, there's good work there too. There's charities and stuff like that.
It's gonna be my first one.
Traders for Cause and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's great. We actually, I'll get it pulled down, but Real Trading, again, big sponsors throughout Toronto and GTA and throughout Canada and throughout New York as well, sponsoring many different things. I'll get the website up in a minute and have a quick look at that. Hey, what's up, Candy? Let me find out what's going on. Hey, $5. Thank you, Candy, for that. I don't know what that's for, but awesome. Thank you so much, Candy. Right there. Okay, let's go. Okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. All right, so we'll move on there. Shout out to Hugo there in the chat. All right, TQQ's, Peloton back up, Robinhood still there. Alibaba, nice battle back for Alibaba. This is probably a good area to think about getting some out right now. Again, you see some of these wicks I'm talking about, like boom, nice wick to the upside right there as well. But Alibaba has been a money-making name for sure today for us. We only have one trade, and this was on the last piece of this right there that we wind up getting out. Buy it back, buy it back. Nice upside back into today's high is where I'm thinking. Let's put an offer at 71.60 there for Alibaba. If we're able to get that, great. We only now have less than 5% left or so of the TQs. We put an order down here. We talked about having 20 or 30%. We got out of about 10%, then about 15 or more down here because we're trying to hold to make sure that when we win, we win. So that was a good hold. We have very, very small piece left. Potentially looking to short again if we get back up to 61.50 on the TQQs. Whether or not that one comes in or not, I'm not too certain. Carnival. You had a good trade, or you had looked at one on Carnival Cruise today.
I mean, it started off as a decent one, but the way I exited the trade and the lack of aggressiveness when I did see things that I liked didn't really turn it into the best trade. So yeah, I can talk about it if you.
Before you do anything, Obi, we're not. I mean, look, 4,000 people watching right now, 361 likes. Come on.
Got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
We got Obi in the building here. Like, are you guys kidding me right here? I mean, let's go. So Obi, please, they're gonna have to listen to my voice until that gets to 500. I'm gonna force these people, if they want to hear some good stuff from Obi, I mean, come on, let's get this going. I will check back because the thing is that there's a little bit of a delay. Oh yeah, right here we do this sometimes in Toronto, Ontario, because again, if you're taking the same trades as us or looking at the same opportunities, sometimes there is a little bit of a delay. So right now it is 3:32, 07, 08, 9. All right, Obi, the mic is yours. We just got, and I want to say thank you to everybody. We just doubled our likes right there.
Nice.
So we used to ask for it.
Yep.
It was 357.
Yeah.
623 in less than 1 minute. 668.
Sounds
right
like
now.
one of your trades. Quick double up in.
Yeah, quick double up, quick cut your net in half, stuff like that. Yeah, great trading. Yeah, it feels like that was Tesla, except for going up, not going down right there. 700 damn likes. We double it in a minute just by asking, but we can't do that without having everybody on our side. So I want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you,
Obi.
everybody.
All right, man. Kill them with kindness, man. They're paying for them words.
Okay, yeah, the CCL, right? All right, so yeah, let's talk about that CCL. I really like, okay, so I do have to kind of continue watching my Tesla, so I'm going to pull that chart over here so I still have visuals on it. All right, maybe not on top of the tape that I'm watching for it as well, but okay, cool. So yeah. CCL, I liked the reasons to buy that I saw that happened on top of this $16 level here. A little late on the entry, but I did kind of get involved and was quite aggressive back in. So I did get involved. I was looking for more places to kind of get more. Didn't really get out much in the 17s. Comes back in, holds again. I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of what I want to see. I like the tape around here as well. It's starting to get a little aggressive, so I add a little bit more to that, and then it starts to reclaim VWAP. I think I can be getting more in here when we do reclaim that VWAP and start to hold. I think there was some stuff on the tape here. I was talking to Sean. I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of size on the ask just getting taken out. 1,000 lots on the ask at odd prices on the way to 17, getting taken out. I'm like, all right, well, if we break and hold 17, I want some more. And then we break and hold 17, and I do take some more. And then, but take a look at this exit. Absolutely disgusting, in my opinion, with this exit. No real reason to sell. I'm holding because I like the buying down here. Sure, your average is maybe in and around, I think it was 16.6s, so your average is still well below VWAP at that point. We're in and around VWAP, so it's like, all right, I'm risking down to VWAP. That makes sense. Why am I selling over here? We're still trending. We're still moving to the upside. We're holding this previous high, and we're attempting to push higher and higher. So this exit, for me, absolutely disgusting. Entry's not so bad. Can get a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more aggressive. Getting involved on the dips here when it does come in. It is trending here a little bit, and then it starts to hold that VWAP. I think I can get a little aggressive. I did get aggressive here. And I think that's why I kind of got a little jittery and just punched out. And I was like, okay, well, might be a little bit of a sizing thing there, but the move does continue, and I can do so much better by just having some structure to the sell rules, which I do have. But then getting a little emotional with that aggression, I kind of just jitter and punch out when it kind of just looks like it might be coming back into that 7 there. But it ends up holding a little bit of strong buying all the way back up to 16.7s. But yeah, CCL. Day one earnings, quite a nice move there off of this 16 and some change, 1630, 1640 base that it made on CCL. So yeah, still a couple more weeks till we have earnings session or earnings season in full swing again. But some of these names still kind of giving us opportunities going into the end of this earnings season also. So good opportunities nonetheless.
The opportunities really don't stop. I mean, whether or not you get stories, we talked about some of the news in China going through. Okay, here we go. So the triple Qs are making a move back up. So again, it's just back into VWAP again, into the end of the day. I'm just going to take a quick little peruse here of the imbalances just to see if there is potentially a bias one way or the other. Like if I see some big, huge names, is Walmart still above 60, by the way? Hold on a second. Okay, hovering. Actually, I did not buy any more or any Walmart whatsoever at these levels, but this is a good trade that I've liked. Walmart, interesting. Okay, anyways, a buy for Walmart, 1 million shares. All of these will get paired off. It's just, we've had this before on the show where we've showed you some of these interesting levels only to be able to find out that, if it's all sell, then that's when we'll be more influenced by a potential move that's going to be happening at 350. So we'll get those imbalance numbers. We used to get a total number from Brendan or Adara, whoever's on the desk, just about what that has been. But our source there, which was Financial Juice, thank you so much for that, Adara, has stopped reporting that. So we'll just bring that news when it comes out, but that's going to be at 350. Okay, so we'll pay attention to that. All right. So other than that, right now, the TQs, we are thinking about a reload there. We can do this. We still do have our same stop order in, which was at a break of 50s up there. So we could take it. I mean, again, we've made a lot of money on this idea, and I always feel like you want to go back to the well. When there's a money-making idea, you want to be able to be there. So we're going to do that with the TQs. We'll try it one more time. We faded into this. It is a little late right now, so let's take some more shares a little closer. We'll try to get almost the same price that we have right now, 46s. So I'm just going to wait at 46. There it is. So we're short now. We have our stop up here. This is 7 cents worth of a stop. I like the risk here again. We've already seen it pay off. Let's see if we get it again now. Because we've made money on this trade, and again, like this is just trade it for however you guys want to, but I think it's worth holding on for a little bit. If we can get something back to VWAP, that could be a good spot for us, 10 cents. That's about the risk. We're actually taking less than that into this close. You don't want to stand, Obi. I don't know if you just made a trade there. I heard
I got out because NQ is ripping, ES is ripping. I'm short Tesla. Tesla bounces off of VWAP, does aggression on the tape, kind of coming in confluence with that market tailwind. Yeah, I kind of want to just get out of that one.
Okay, good. So again, we'll stop a fail. We'll flush down, but again, still, my number 2 stock, which now it's hovering around Apple. We were up much more, not much more, but Apple's going to be, this is an early trade. We shorted that really crazy spike there. Boom, right?
Boom.
On Apple to the downside. That seems to be a really good trade. And then my number 1 trade today is early. It's NVIDIA. I'm hearing right now in my ear that Johnson & Johnson is getting another chance to defend their position, and again, this is in just a news story, getting oh, here it is. So I have it on Benzinga, so we could talk about it. Getting an opportunity to defend their position in their talc case, which has been a real bad headwind for them, man. I mean, I think Johnson & Johnson would be absolutely mooned without some of these problems. But, okay, so there's more, so a chance to contest. So that's always good. Obviously, these guys are, I mean, the lawyer bill that Johnson & Johnson must have, I mean, it's probably public. Obviously it is because they're a public company, but it's ridiculous the amount of money and effort and everything that they've spent on this. And for good reason. I mean, look, ovarian cancer due to some of your products, it's a nightmare, man. We've seen companies there with the asbestos has bankrupt many companies as well. We had, it wasn't Caterpillar, it was 3M with the masks. Anyways, interesting there, 53,000 lawsuits. Wow. Relying on whatever these judges say here. So it's not, I'm not laughing at the cases, it's a very serious situation, but for J&J, this has to be good news for sure as they look to defend their position in that. And again, pretty choppy right now. I feel like they settled, I forget, it was something at 7 billion or something like that. I feel like there was some positive reports from them, but there's still so many individual cases on that. So Johnson & Johnson, again, a piece of my portfolio, but would rather be in a safer name right now, maybe like a Merck or an Eli Lilly or something like that. But right now, Johnson & Johnson, good one there. All right, so that's that. So we get stopped out of our TQs, and it's a good thing we did. We got stopped out on that break of 53 it was, so we actually get 54s. So again, very little slippage there in the TQs as volume can hold us on that. So that was a good one. As
wow.
Is AMD
5,300 on the ES just keeps on slapping up there, and the NQ as well, trying to push for that 18.5. So yeah, that strength is absolutely wild. That's what I'm saying. Apple and fresh highs, Softy kind of ripping up as well. NVIDIA back at 900. Nothing too crazy there.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Yeah, no worries there. It's all good. Okay, so I just went right back to the name that we were upset about in the past. AMD is right back. We could get it again, but man, have times changed? And yeah, no. with this movement right now, I'm not going to stand in this way of anything. There goes AMD right now. So yes, finally pat ourselves on the back. We did not short in front of this train. We did reload our position in TQQs, but look what's happening right now. It's Alibaba right back to today's high. We're sitting here right now. Let's wait to see if we can get that. Maybe we're getting too greedy waiting for a 65 print here on Alibaba. I'll just assess this and see where we can go. But that's a good move off that bottom. You see some of these takes down there, 71.30. I mean, those were good. The only time we got stopped out was right there, and we bounced off the 200 period, got back in, and then now we're in this trade again. So let's put an offer at 60 on Alibaba. We just bounced off there. That's close enough to that level of the high of the day, and another bouncing off spot right there for Alibaba. Now that I see this market trying to turn around here off of another key level, man, look at that 18.5. Come on. Yeah, like that was probably getting close to a short. The only problem is here in the end of the day, do you really want to hold something 50 points against you? So right there, that's 15 points against you. That's what you'd have to do in my opinion. So if you're going to short 18.5, I feel like you got to leave it to here. If there's enough room in your account to do that, this is not a horrible idea in my opinion. Going short now against that, but again, nice little move upside here in the market, giving me some kind of ways. So we'll wait to see what happens, but for right now, it's a nice long. We'll get out of some Alibaba. Peloton, right back to highs again. This was just a quick little trade. By the way, AMD fell off of that level. So AMD just came right back in again. Could be something there for sure on AMD. Let's just empty out everything on Peloton. I was going to wait for a bit higher. Let's just get, oops, sorry, hold on. There's Peloton right there. Let's just put something out. Depending on what prints, we may or may not get it. There's some different gateways printing off here. So a lot of those D prints coming through and whatnot. So we'll wait for that. Robinhood still 16 cents. Anything you're working with? Tesla almost got down to 179.
It actually bounced VWAP. There was aggression that came in off of the VWAP. Yeah. And I did kind of, again, a little cheeky long off the VWAP. Now finally trading with the trend a little bit. But that 179 bounce, nice little aggression off of that VWAP as well. And you have the market tailwind pushing up into some of these levels, 5,300 and 18.5 as well on the NQ and the ES, or ES and the NQ respectively. And yeah, so that let's see if we can actually get a bounce off of that VWAP on Tesla, or is it going to kind of do its own thing? CCL is still holding that 17 level right now. Nvidia trying to push towards that consolidation high, 902 as of right now. Oh boy, look at this strong one. Both Google and Softy ripping very, very aggressively. And look at the spider. That's definitely climbing up the spout quite aggressively as well. 522 halves on the spider.
Dude, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I might, depending on how your trading day is going. Let's just wait to see here what's going on with CGC. I mean, again, I really did. Like, we've been talking about CGC for a minute here. I did buy some more here before the split into the 50s, which is now almost a double up, because I thought, didn't it go 10 to 1? So we went, I think it was 60 cents. Yeah, so now you're really starting to go, man. You are starting to get, honestly, pun intended, you're getting heated up right now in these marijuana stocks. I mean, well done to the upside. I'm going to actually look at it on my e-signal chart, because we don't go the split adjust right here. So let's just have a quick look again at what this looks like on a split adjusted chart. So there it is. Huge move up right now, just happening. The low was 275 basically, and now you're up to 9 and change. So we just made this low. Wow, that was not long ago at all, Obi. That was 2 weeks ago. March 15th, 13th, 14th. That was 275. So that's 4x your money right now, almost. Let's go 3.5 times your money, up to $10 almost. Great move for CGC. And honestly, I feel like that it's cash out time on these plays. What we'll lose on Fisker, we'll make back on this, no problem. But
are you still holding some of those from
Fisker?
No. Some of the cannabis names.
Yeah, man. Like
nice.
No, not nice, man. Not nice. They've been nice now because they're battled back, but this is Tilray. Obi, this is, we got killed. You want to talk about CGC as well on a daily chart? I mean, we are nowhere. We're not even close. But yeah, nice hold. I have to say that. So I'll take that for what it's worth. Nice move up for CGC, and now at day's high. So for anybody that is potentially partaking in the longs, congratulations. CGC definitely rocking to the upside right now.
A little bit of quick scalp off of that action off of VWAP. I was looking to get more on the pullback. I think that 179.5 pullback was nice, but then I'm kind of split between, like, you know, when do you add to a position that's kind of a loser. I know there's a saying by the great Paul Tudor Jones, losers average losers. It's very famous, and I'm like, all right, well, there's a good reason why that's a thing, because whenever I'm averaging into my losers, more often than not the best trade. But I think there are some times that specific times that can warrant that based off of the action. There comes the 180. That's what I was looking for. The 180 test off the 179 rip on the Tesla. So yeah, I got out of the short because I saw that aggression off of VWAP. Then I switched long on top of the 7.9.5, and then I added more into the 80s for the push into 180. And when that 180 doesn't come right away, I jumped out of it. But that's something I need to work on. Clearly, my exit game is not that strong right now. But that 180 does push, and we are pushing that 180. But I like that kind of push, that aggression that does come in at a place we were looking for that, right? We were talking about that 179 had that confluence with VWAP, and you get a quick bounce with that market tailwind into the imbalances, right? So a little bit of aggression going into that 180 on Tesla. I did not hold into the 180 like planned, so lots to improve on. Definitely UPS. Wow, yeah, it's a good thing I gave up on the short on this name, because I was fighting it multiple times, and then it's continuing to push higher into the close there. A little bit of a reversion, it would seem, after a really strong sell-off yesterday, as you guys can see, very, very aggressive. Now, I don't know what the news was. I think there was some news in the pre-market, but yeah, I don't think anything that really warranted this kind of thing. But what do I know? Maybe somebody saw that news. They were like, all right, well, that's good enough for us to start selling. So I have no idea, but the selling definitely came in strong yesterday. We're getting that nice reversion today. Not even a 50% reversion. Is this 30% yet?
We have 15 seconds right now. Candy, I got your question on IBIO. I will get that in a second, and thank you again for the super chat. It's Candy again asking about here, I'll put it up quickly. Asking us about IBIO. So we'll do that. Thank you so much. Fifth super chat. So we'll drop that down. Thank you so much. I swing at this level, please. Okay, we will go over that, Kenny, but here are the imbalances out. Right now, it's 350, so we'll wait to see what that number is, but TLT with a nice little bid there. Lucid with a sell of 1.4 million. So remember we had that news where Lucid kind of gapped up right there? Well, that was the gap, and then absolutely no follow through on that. I'm not seeing any major NASDAQ names. I mean, obviously we see one of the biggest here in Apple. That's a sell, but that's still going higher. Good news for Apple shareholders, I feel like, as they've really battled back from that crap that happened yesterday or 2 days ago on the DOJ investigation again. You know, Apple, they definitely need to get investigated for making what the DOJ calls a superior phone. That's a problem. You never want to be a company to make a product that doesn't, you know, make anybody leave. You know, you always got to give people the chance to leave your environment. Anyways, all right, we'll talk more about that as well. But yeah, so not much on here, not much happening. The number is 650 to buy side right there. So thanks to Adara for that one. It doesn't look like we're super excited about anything right now. Alibaba did not give us that level, Piton did. So we got 41s on Piton actually. So I was waiting at 42. I put a 41 there into the imbalances. We got it. I mean, let's go. Let's spin it. I'm happy with that trade. I don't know. Nice. All right, IBIO, Candy.
Solid. Because if I got it off the news, right?
Yeah. So there it was. It was about healthcare, potentially getting involved in the insurance side of things there for Peloton. So I think that's a good idea. Because whenever people don't have to spend their own money, like if you could put something through insurance, helps. More likely. Yes. And there's a lot of products like that, including the Apple. Today we got the Panerai on, but the Apple Watch and stuff like that, because if they have that blood oxygen sensor, I believe.
Yeah, that's what they had the issue with, right?
Yes, and they had to get rid of that in the new one. Was it the blood oxygen? Yeah, it was. I
Yeah,
believe.
because it's like, oh, you're tracking personal data, which is usually like, I don't know, when it comes to like healthcare and stuff, you're not really supposed to be giving that kind of stuff out. It's private information, right? So I can understand what the issue there is.
Yeah, but with the blood oxygen, it was actually the sensor from Massey.
Okay.
So they didn't have the rights to use that technology, and they said they stole it and blah blah blah.
Okay. That's
Anyways,
what
they'll
it
get that all figured out. Then Apple's just like, okay, well, we'll pull it off our watch until we get it figured out. I just heard something drop down there, so I'm going to wait. Are we ready to go? Okay, we'll wait. So quickly before we go, because we do have a question on IBIO. So let me do that, then we'll go to Brendan. So, okay, Candy, look, we already been up here. This name reverse split, like 20 cents, reverse split up to $4. Now you're getting this move today. I like the out right here, right now. Honestly, like that's a reverse split level. It came all the way back in. Today, IBIO to the upside. It's on our watch list with news. I think it's an out there. If you're long at 270, I'd put some in your pocket. If you think you want to hold for tomorrow or anything like that, I cannot blame you, but there's been a lot of stock and there's probably people in our chat that could help you out. This is only a 3.5 million share float. Obviously, if it gets running, then you've already got it, man. You're up 200%. I would put some in my pocket on these levels because that $4 level, you could just zoom out and see that. So I'd be very careful with IBIO here, and I think profit is always a good thing. So put some in your pocket and hold the rest. Why not put 75% in there, hold 25% for that dream? It's all a dream when Brendan's speaking, so let's go see what he has to say.
Alert. There is a huge Easter sale on right now at Trade Ideas. If you haven't done so right now, scan the QR code, bottom right corner of the screen. Yeah, that says 20% off. It's actually 25% off. But as this says as well, prices go up April 1st. So go take advantage right now, 25% off for Trade Ideas.
Thanks, Brendo.
Wow, yeah, I mean, that's a great product. We use it all the time. They have the anchored VWAP on there as well. And another great product. And thank you, Michael Noss. And again, you also have direct connection to Michael, who's helped build that platform and knows it like the back of his hand. And I actually got to say, thoughts with Michael Noss as he's expecting his second born.
Oh, wow, nice. Congrats.
So he dropped that on the show. I think he's mentioned it before, but that's either this weekend or next. So we're really excited for Michael, and I won't be able to get the smile off my face because kids mean everything to me, anyways. And so a shout out to you, Mr. Michael Noss, and congratulations and a safe delivery on that one. So shout out to my good friend, Mr. Michael Noss. All right, so only 55 right now. These could pair off. Thank you, Candy, for that. I don't have any stop orders. I'm just making sure. We still have got Alibaba. We talked about that. We've let this name kind of drift back up to the upside. We'll take a piece out here at 55 if we can and cancel our 60. Put a 55 back in there because that did not fill. And then we'll go over to Robinhood. Our last trade of the day will be Robinhood. As, by the way, AMD's back up to 180. We looked at 181, 182 today. Let's see if AMD can dance for us tomorrow. I like AMD at those levels, so we'll see about that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Robinhood. So it did fall back in a little bit there. These are unfortunately going to be like the levels that we got it out at. So we're long down here at 1970. We do miss that opportunity to get out there. I was watching it. I thought we could have broke that high. And then obviously I wasn't watching it close enough because the out should have been right there at the 50-period moving average. So the minute that was broken, we know better than that. We should have been out. So we'll wait now, but $20 might as well just punch out of Robinhood. And there's the out. Alibaba, we just get that out at 55. As you can see, it breaks through. So a good trade there for Alibaba. And not much else happening right now, just trying to get out of Robinhood. And you're in no positions as well. So a quick,
I got nothing.
Quick look
right now.
Imbalances. Ooh, Intel showing up out of nowhere. So that's a good one potentially for a trade here on Intel. So we'll look at that. We'll get out of Robinhood right now. Intel with the bid. So you can see that move continuously going. $44. I mean, I guess they finally got going there.
Yeah. That 42 consolidation, I think that was like that breakout. I think that was the trade.
All it needed was for me to be short into 40 for it to bump up to 44. So remember, we had that the other day. I think you were here as well. This is a very confusing name, man. 3 straight days to the upside. Like, this is bizarro world. Again, obviously it's news related, but when you have Intel up 4% and NVIDIA down, which at one point was down 3%, now down 2 and a bit, that does seem a little strange to me, but with only a few minutes left. I feel like we need to be buying these dips on NVIDIA, and once again, you missed it. But I don't know. I still think there's a pretty decent pullback coming in all of these names. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
we got time on our side,
though.
You have more of it on mine. That's for sure. Do we have the earnings board? I know we hadn't talked about it too much because we do have the podcast and no market recap show tonight. But I guess I'll be put back to work tomorrow. It will be back tomorrow, March 27th. So, all right, we already had Carnival today. After tonight, big market cap name. So let's go after market. Oh, wow, that's right. I talked about this I talked about Rumble on the podcast and forgot that it was now. I thought it was Thursday for Rumble, but okay. RUM, let me double check that with Trade Ideas that it is today. I almost thought it was Thursday there. It's postmark. I have postmark at the 27th, which is today. Okay. So I've really liked Rumble, and we talked about this on the podcast. Some levels here for Rumble back in, and well, since we talked about it last weekend, it's been a nice move up, man. I like this level back in here for Rumble, trying to change the way they dealt with advertising and streaming. I like Rumble down here. Let's see what happens. It's going to be more about the guide. Interesting to hear them talk about subscribers, what they have moving forward, if there's any new podcasts or any new streams coming to their platform. So there's Rumble. We like that. All right, what's on here that interests you, Obi?
Just Rumble. I think RH is kind of a familiar name, but I'm kind of forgetting if that one is that's not Robinhood, but it's the other one, right? It's like the what is this one? Hold on, that's Tesla News. Retail trade specialty stores. What do they do? Yeah, so this one is reporting tomorrow morning as well. Let's see. With 5 billion market cap, okay, not too bad. Let's take a look at the daily here. How much volume does it do on average? Average volume is about 500K, so not really too much there on that $300 ticker as of right now, just underneath that $300 level, kind of in the middle of this range that it's been making on the daily, I guess the weekly as well. Over the past year, we've pretty much been inside this. What is this? The low extremes being in and around 207s, and then kind of the high at 406, with kind of some of these highs being in and around these 300s. So yeah, nothing too crazy there. I think I remember past couple of weeks.
10 seconds.
There were, okay, and once again, I have talked too much, so thank you, Sean. We'll count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, Adara. Thanks for joining us.
And we're done.
Yes, sir.
So that's that.
How was your day?
Fine. Could have been better at the end of the day. I mean, I feel like...
Same. I have the same answer.
Yeah. I mean, we had some good plays, man. I mean, the Apple top, I think, was a good play there. I'm still a little bit... I'm not shook by this, but I feel like this could have been that would have been a nice pop up there to have that. We missed the AMD trade there. But I feel real responsible about this because back-to-back days, we really hit the cues really well. Yeah. Took advantage of it, got this piece out at the end of the day, then just took it out, should have reversed long. That's the one thing we're going to have to work better on. When key levels are broken, think about why they're breaking and potentially go the other way. So the NASDAQ ends the day up 0.32. I used the word resiliency earlier on in the day, and it seems like the NASDAQ just says, yeah, man, we are, and I agree. So nice move back up to the upside on that one, man. I'm going to go drink some more water, get ready for the podcast. But yeah, I haven't been here too much at the close.
Yeah.
We're always at the desk. Feeling good, man. Reminds me of the good old days. All right, Obi, promise me you'll join me tomorrow.
For sure.
All right. Guys, tomorrow's last hour will be with Randy. We're going to give you a chance to relax and put on some maybe big trades at the close if you want to. Sit beside Max himself as well. So, all right, see you, my guy. All right. Ramin wants us to film more TikToks.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Please. I thought you were just joking. Oh, man. Okay.
I don't even have a TikTok account.
Huh?
I don't even have a TikTok account.
Yeah. There's about 10 fake Seans, though. Don't worry, Sharif does. Okay, guys, we'll see everybody. Let me guess, Brendan, TikTok account? Let me see. No. My guy.
All right.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow, and we'll see you soon, Mr. Kunal. Podcast tomorrow, Saturday, released tomorrow, 8:30, Trader TV Live. Ciao.